Hello, everyone. So today is Tuesday, I believe, the 22nd of April. So I'm just going to get into it because I've missed a lot of questions. So I'm going to play catch up. I'm not going to do the tarot card deck today. I'll probably just miss this week of the tarot card deck due to my illness, and we'll get into it next week. But that being said, I will get caught up on some of these questions. Depending on how I get on these, I may skip this book. I don't know yet, but let's see what we got first. So April. Let's see what questions I did answer, and then go from there. Ugh. I'm thinking it was the 18th. I'm going with the 18th. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But alright, so we're going to. First off, it is. Well, I'm pretty sure. Hold on. I'm pretty sure it's been longer than that. Well, that'd been 5 days ago. We'll go 6 just to be on the safe side. So 17th. Alright, so 17th of April. It says, are you a good influence on or bad influence on those around you? I don't know. I haven't really ever thought about it. Here's my thing. I try to live my life the best that I can with what I've got, and sometimes I don't always make the best choices in life, but there are times when I do, so I think it's a little bit of both. It just depends on the day and the hour. Like I said, there's times that I make great decisions, there's times that I make terrible ones, so it just depends on how you look at it. What did you have for lunch today? I had taco rolls. They're similar to pizza rolls, but they're taco rolls. So my stomach is coming back now. Tried my stomach out on some heartier foods today, and they're holding down. So I think I'm feeling better, and I think I'm going back to work tomorrow. Alright, what is something widely popular that doesn't appeal to you? Widely popular that doesn't appeal to me. I would say the Pokemon games, a lot of them, they're widely popular right now, and for some reason that particular card game is just not appealing to me. So I don't mind Pokemon Go necessarily, because I can still go out and, because it's more like a scavenger hunt type thing. But as far as the actual like Pokemon card game, never really got into it. I don't know. It's just one of those things. I just couldn't get into it. Last person you trolled on social media. Last person I trolled on social media. I don't really know. Because lately I don't really ever really troll anybody, so that's my thing. It's been, if I did troll anybody, it's been a while. So yeah, I rarely troll. If I troll any, because I'm assuming troll means follow, like you really follow them. You looked at all their videos. It's been a while since I've done that, so A lot of times I just get on Facebook and just, if I'm watching those little videos or the little videos on TikTok, I just kind of scroll through them. So I'm not really going into any particular person. So there you go. So I'd say I don't really troll anybody. Funniest person you know. Funniest person I know. Does this have to be in my circle, or can this be a comedian? I say this can be a comedian because it'd be the funniest person I know. So if we're talking comedian, without a doubt, he's gonna make me laugh no matter what. I'm gonna go with Adam Sandler. Let me see, friend that's, as far as friends go, there's quite a few friends. I can't really decide on which one's the funniest. I've got a lot of funny friends. I try to be the funniest one in the room, but sometimes I might get beat. I don't know. So there's that. Last person that you actually spoke to on the phone. That'd be for the 22nd, so that's today. Last person I actually spoke on the phone would have been, I believe, Angela. It's either Angela or my mom, is one of the two. Because Angela called me today, asking me something, or telling me today something about a concert that we were going to go to, and then we weren't able to go to because it's all the way in Kansas, and she's got to work the next day, so we're deciding not to go to that. Or it could have been my mom today too. I can't remember which one called me last. Mom was calling to basically just check up on me, see how I was doing since I was sick. So, but yeah, so there's that. Now we'll get into these questions because I'm only 7 minutes in, so we'll answer a few. Just gotta remember where I was at. Alright, it should be somewhere on here. I'm gonna go with this question. If I answered it before, oh well. How do you make the most of a bad situation? No, I did answer that one. Okay, hold on. Okay, I answered all those. Okay, I think I'm on this one. So, have you ever needed an eye test? Well, obviously, because I've got glasses. Do you carry anything with you for self-defense when you leave your home? My cell phone, I guess. Outside of that, no. We don't really have to worry about. I, I live around an area where we don't really have to worry too much about robberies or murders. It doesn't really happen that often where we live, nor do kidnappings really happen too much where we live. So that's kind of an afterthought. Might happen in the city, but not really down here. If you could read minds, whose would you read first? Probably Angela's, just so that way I know what the heck she wants sometimes. Although for the most part, I think I do all right with her, but still, you know, just because. And then, who else? Or just to see what she's thinking sometimes, just for the hell of it, to be nosy. Oh well, it said first person, so there you go. Alright. What weird behavior or a habit have you as a child ditched as you got older? I know in grade school and some of middle school, I would actually grow out my fingernails. Don't know why, but I did. It was a bad habit for men to do, so apparently. But yeah, I try to keep them cut now, so. Sometimes I let them grow out a little bit more than I like to, and as soon as I notice that, I cut them down, so. But yeah. And I think that's the last question I'm going to answer for today. We'll get right into the Missouri Day of questions. Let's see here. Let's see how right I was. I think I'm about halfway through the book already. I think it was on the 15th, so maybe. Because I don't think I read this one. Oh well, I'm not going back and answering any more questions. So if I miss the 15th, I'm sorry. I apologize. Let me see. I want to make sure I'm correct. Because I know I did the dance hall explosion. It might have been the 14th. No, I'm pretty sure I said that one. The founder of Enterprise. And then... Alright, so here we are. So we're going to start on the 15th. Alright, so 1889 is where we're going back to. Thomas Hart Benton is born in Neosho. I have no idea where that's at. But at any rate, one of Missouri's early icons was raised in southeast Missouri before he became one of the most famous artists in America in the 1900s. He helped develop the regionalist movement, which exposed lives of average Americans in the Midwest to a broader audience. He came from one of Missouri's most influential families, and is often confused with his great uncle and namesake, Senator Thomas Hart Benton. So, but there you go. So, pretty cool, I guess. Pretty cool. Should have had one of his paintings here, but they didn't put that. That's alright. Alright, so April 16th, we go all the way back to 1857. One of the nation's most smartest and most interesting people is born on a farm in Fayette. Henry Smith Pritchard had the blessing of being born at a brilliant professor Oh, being born to a brilliant professor and college president, Carr Waller Pritchett, who was the director of Morrison Observatory. I can't talk today, guys. I'm sorry. Apparently, that illness affected my tongue. I'm blaming on that. Henry was educated at the Pritchard College. Well, I would figure he would be. I mean, that's. But anyway, which was named after his family. Duh. This was in Glasgow, Missouri. Then became the president of Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, for a time. So that's really cool. But his most enduring work was at the first president of the Carnegie Foundation for the Advancement of Teaching, where he was handpicked by Andrew Carnegie for the role. So that's really cool. This is a picture here of Carr Waller, and behind Carr Waller is there you go. So there you go. Carr Waller Pritchard. That beard, he looks like a creep. So he's really smart and intelligent. And he's still a creep, but I guess most intelligent people do. I don't know. Alright, and April 17th, we go back to 1892, so now we're getting a little closer to the modern days, I guess. Now we're going to Kansas City. Fountain Day begins in Kansas City. Kansas City is known for its, well, as we all know, they're known for their fountains, ranking behind only Rome in the number of fountains. The earliest ones in Kansas City were built out of necessity for horses and dogs to drink and cool off. The fountains built in the 1900s were more ornate and unique to their neighborhoods. Many of them fell into despair over the years until a local couple toured Italy, fell in love with the structures, and decided to bring the Kansas City fountains back to life. They are now more than 200 across the city, most opening on the annual Fountain Day. So today would be the day, I guess, or this April 17th would be the day then the fountains would reopen from the winter time. So that's really cool. Also, for that day, there's a side note. We go back to 1945. Harry Carey. Who committed Harry Carey? Harry Carey calls his first game as the official voice. Oh, Carey. I'm sorry. Harry Carey. My apologies. I said that wrong. So, some St. Louis fans are probably going to get mad at me for saying that, but I'm telling y'all, it's the illness. I'm blaming it on the illness. But Harry Carey calls his first game as the official voice of the St. Louis Cardinals. In 1954, he was paired with Jack Buck. So that's, if you're a Cardinals fan, that's something to know. All right, and then April 18th, we go back to 2008, so we're not going back too far. The Green Switch celebration is held at Rockport. The small town on the wind-swept plains of the northwest Missouri became the first community in America to generate 100% of its electricity from wind power. The 4 turbines generate twice as much power as the town of 1,300 residents in Atchison County requires. That's really cool. I wish we had those here, because I do think that the wind power, honestly, is probably better than the dam power. The power that you get from the water dams, which is, I believe, what we pretty much count on here in where we live. So, also, as another side note, April 7th, we go back to April of 2017 on that day. Tiger Woods appears with Bass Pro Shops founder Johnny Morris to unveil a new golf course in Branson called Paynes Valley. So that's really cool too. I think if another thing too, because Angela and I are going to go to Branson next year. I don't know if we really want to play, but that's still really cool that Tiger Woods was there. So there's the picture there of the two. So that's really, and I believe I'm almost caught up. So in April 19th, we go back to 1983, and we're going back to St. Louis. The St. Louis Blues are sold by Ramsden Purina to a group in Saskatchewan for $12 million. The deal had been in the works for months after the CEO of Ralston Purina, decided his company needed to focus on pet products, not hockey. Fans were shocked when the deal was announced that it was going to go to a small town in Saskatchewan, which had fewer than 200,000 residents. The NHL was also shocked and intervened to block the deal. Ralston filed for an antitrust suit, while the NHL filed for a countersuit for damages. A new buyer, Harry Ornest, became the only bidder for the team, and the St. Louis Blues stayed in St. Louis. So, there you go. So, it was a deal that did not happen. And then April 20th, we go back to 1982. Another sports story. And again, it's in St. Louis. Thousands of bowling fans attend the groundbreaking for the International Bowling Hall of Fame. St. Louis had been the epicenter for bowling for decades. And some of the world's top bowlers had grown up on the lanes of Missouri or had moved to perfect their craft. So it only made sense the Hall of Fame to celebrate their achievements would be at the city that they became famous. Excuse me. The museum drew in tens of thousands of fans each year, but moved to Texas when the building was demolished to make way for Busch Stadium 3. So, there's that. We can't have a bowling Hall of Fame. We need more baseball. Get out of here. But yeah. I don't know why sometimes these, I know that means their team might be out for a year, or that they won't have home games for about a year or two, or possibly 3, but wouldn't it make more sense to just rebuild right in the spot where you tore down the stadium? What's wrong with the area that you're moving from. I don't understand. Just rebuild right where you're at. I don't know. But anyway, not my circus, not my monkeys. So April 21st, we go back to 1955. The first polio vaccine. Polio. I told you I can't read. The first polio vaccines arrive in Missouri. Like nearly every state in the 1950s, Missouri was facing a viral scourge of polio for decades and left its victims with crippling deformities, paralyzing, and even death. Finally, in 1955, the miracle cure discovered by Dr. Jonas Salk was being distributed to the states. The first shipment of the vaccine arrived via Trans World airplanes at Wheeler Airport in Kansas City and via trains in downtown St. Louis. Salk refused a patent for the vaccine so it could be distributed without restrictions, and he became one of the most famous scientists of the world for his discovery. So that's really cool. Alright, now the last one for the day. We go back to 1960. We're on April 22nd. Wilson's Creek National Battlefield is established. So the battle at Wilson's Creek was the first major battle in Missouri's long Civil War history. The battle took place on August 10th, 1861, west of Springfield. It was there as there was a serious effort underway for Missouri to secede the Union. Southern sympathizing soldiers first arriving on the land to come up with a battle plan. Federal forces launched a surprise attack, and the battle went on for hours. More than 1,000 troops on each side were killed, lying across the rolls and hills. President Dwight Eisenhower officially recognized the historical significance of the battle and preserved the land for later generations to study and honor. So there's that. So now Wilson's Creek becomes an official battleground. So I guess, even though it was already official, now they're basically, the government's coming in and saying, hey, we're going to protect this for future folks. So there's the picture of that day, and that, my friends, is all I got for y'all. So that being said, have a good one. Peace out. I'm all caught up now on those, so that's kind of a good feeling, I guess. And be sure to check in tomorrow for tomorrow's video. Don't know if I'm going to have a whole lot to talk about other than the questions of the day. But yeah, because I know there's a couple shows tomorrow, but I don't know if I'm going to have time to talk about them until Thursday. So there's that. But yeah, that's all I got for y'all. So on that note, have a good one. Peace out, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.